say that I also saw a different side of Tina than I ever thought possible. For those of you who know Tina, she would certainly run as far away from children as she possibly could. And even during the pregnancy, it was I think very difficult for her in many cases for being around children. But the amount of time and just during the pregnancy, her desire to do everything she could to eat what she was supposed to eat and do what she was supposed to do and give little Eden the best possible chance. And thank you for being such a good mom to my daughter. So, and those who know me know that if I get an opportunity to talk, I'm going to take it. And they also know that I will be emotional at a drop of a hat, so I can't imagine me getting through this easily. But I did want to share a little bit about a year ago, I started praying to God to show me the love of a father. I teach a home group on Saturday nights, and we've been working our way through the Bible from Genesis all the way eventually to Revelation. And so many times, especially the old, yeah, they're laughing because we don't go that fast. It'll take about 50 years, but that's okay. The Lord will return before then. But the Old Testament, I love the Old Testament, it so often gives you pictures, things that you can view through other people's lives as examples to us. And so often the Word has this example of God being a father and us being a child. And that relationship that He wants to have with us, those who trust in Jesus Christ, to have that beautiful relationship. And I have a father, and he's not perfect. He's a good father, but I didn't have any children, so it was hard. I'm teaching, and I'm saying, imagine, if you will, if you had kids, and you have this relationship. And I told God, I said, I feel like it's difficult for me to teach these sections of scriptures because I don't understand. And I thought maybe somehow God would reveal this to me magically from above. I don't know how I expected Him to ever answer that prayer. Tina and I were far from expecting children after 19 and a half years of marriage. But when Tina told me that she was possibly expecting, I started going back to that prayer and thinking, wow, God, with you nothing is impossible. And so then I thought, oh, okay, this is kind of God revealing some of my prayer. And through the pregnancy, I was so anxious to get that love of a father, and it wasn't happening. And then Tina, as Tina was saying, she'd say, oh, look, Eden's kicking, come. All right. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, it's so frustrating. I'm like, bad girl. Disobeying her father already. And then on Mother's Day, I felt her, and I said, oh, that's interesting. And I think I let Tina down. I think she expected this moment, and I thought, that's weird. That's weird. And, so then even further in the pregnancy, and then during the delivery, and I saw all the things, and to be honest, I was more fascinated with the medical and the technology than I was what was actually going on. And then little Eden was born, and then I actually thought she had died in the operating room, but she was okay. And then they started taking her away, and then they said, do you want to go with little Eden, or do you want to stay with Tina? And I was like, I don't know. So I looked at Tina, and I said, do I go to stay with you, or she's like, go with Eden. I was like, okay. Yeah, I didn't know. So I went with Eden, and I got a chance to spend that evening with her, and I was looking at her, and I said, wow, she's mine. And I said, okay, God, where is it? Oh, no, when you first hold her, Okay, so I really felt like I was a bad dad, because it just looked like a baby, just like any other baby. And then she had to go to the intensive care unit, and I knew that we wouldn't have a chance to hold her for some time. I was a bit worried that I wasn't feeling this love of God. And I remember distinctively I was in the intensive care. she was there, and I was just kind of, I saw her, and I saw the machines, and I started saying, okay, what does a dad do? I think a dad will probably just go and, pat her head, and okay, I'll be a good dad. And I was doing all the dad things, and I was looking at all the machines and thinking, I wonder what that one's for. What's that number? And calculating all the maths on that. And then one day, I was holding her, and I had my hands on her, and then her hand was sitting on the side, and the nurses were working from the other side, and we have a few nurses from the intensive care unit here, and I'll try not to say anything bad. They were doing their thing, and I was watching what they were doing. I was holding, and her hand was right there, so I grabbed her hand, and I was looking at her hand, and I said, oh look, digits and phalanges and all of it. I was fascinated. It's all small, but it all works. It's all there. I was just fascinated by the science. And then one of the nurses went up and said, oh, we need to take blood. And they took her little foot, and they put this little box on there, and they punched this little button, and it like pokes her in the foot. And I had her hand was just tiny around my finger, and she just grabbed my hand, my finger. She grabbed my finger, and she pulled it close to her. And at that moment, I looked over at that nurse, and I tell you, I was about ready to take out the nurse. I looked over there, and I was like, okay, I think I can take you. That instinct to suddenly protect my little child from any pain, any suffering, any problems was overwhelming, just rushed. From that moment on, I couldn't do enough for her. I took every moment I could to change her nappy, to wipe her eyes, to do anything I could. I knew that I didn't have a lot of time with her, so I wanted to do as much as I could for her. And I knew I could fix her problem, and so I just tried to fix some of the symptoms and